To go faster, swimmers have to create more propulsion and less drag. To create less resistance, swimmers have to be aware of the resistance that they're creating. Let's take a look at an effective way to make that happen. Hi everyone, Andrew here, helping you help your swimmers get faster. One of the biggest challenges in helping swimmers learn how to create less resistance as they move through the water is that many swimmers can't feel what they're doing. They're not aware of how much surface area they're exposing to the water, and they're not aware of how the way they're moving through the water is creating more drag. Solving that problem is ultimately an issue of feel. If we can help them feel it, we can help them fix it. Coaches and swimmers are familiar with the concept of feel for the water. However, it's almost always referred to in terms of creating propulsion. And so if swimmers have great feel for the water, they can use their limbs to create propulsion. Great feel for the water also involves the ability to position the body to eliminate drag. Swimmers have to be able to feel how to use their arms and their legs to create pressure on the water to create speed. And swimmers also have to be able to feel how to position their body, the postures that allow their body to create as little drag as possible. In particular, helping swimmers learn to reduce drag can be very difficult. One, a lot of the mistakes that swimmers are making are very subtle and it's difficult for them to feel them. And secondly, creating propulsion is about what to do. Move your arm like this, move your leg like this, whereas reducing drag is about what not to do. In many cases, it's about eliminating unnecessary movements, unnecessary positions, unnecessary postures in order to eliminate drag to create more speed. And so the mindset, the process behind improving propulsion and reducing drag are very, very different. The bottom line is that if swimmers can't feel the drag they're creating as they move through the water, they're not going to be able to change their skills to eliminate that drag. So to solve that problem, we need strategies that create awareness so swimmers can feel it. A very powerful way to do that is to combine clothing and fins. Independently, there are effective strategies for helping swimmers eliminate resistance. Fins are effective because they allow swimmers to swim faster, and the faster they go, the more drag that they create, and the more drag that they create, the more that they're going to be able to feel on their body. And so they're going to be more likely to feel it where they're creating it. They're going to have more awareness of where the drag is happening over their body. And because they're using fins, it's easier to get to speeds, and that allows them to get more practice in those situations. In contrast, when swimmers wear clothing, they're going to feel resistance on their body where they're wearing the clothing. And so whatever drag they're creating, it's going to be magnified. And when the swimmers take the clothing off, we're re-exposing their skin to the flow of the water. And when they go from having no flow over the water to having flow over the water, what they feel is again going to be magnified so swimmers can better feel the water as it flows over their body. And again, they'll have more awareness and that can create the potential for change. When we use those strategies in combination, now swimmers are going to create a lot more drag that they can feel. The fins are going to allow them to swim faster, and they're going to be swimming faster with the clothing on. That's going to magnify the impact of the drag that's happening with the clothing. And so we're going to have two strategies that are both working towards the same ends, but doing so in a slightly different way. And that allows swimmers to better feel the drag they're creating. And again, once they can feel it, they can change it. When using this strategy, it's important to keep the repetitions short. It's all about creating speed because again, we need them to go fast in order to magnify the drag. So it's not about doing a ton of repetitions, it's about doing a relatively small number of repetitions, but doing them really, really well so that they're done at speed and where swimmers are engaged and paying attention to what they're feeling. It's also critical to take the gear off. So rather than doing 20-25s with fins and clothing on, it's much better off to do a couple reps, have them take the gear off, do a couple reps, and then go back and repeat that process. By performing normal swimming afterwards, we're giving them the chance to use their heightened sense of awareness to actually figure out how to swim better. And again, when they take the clothing off, they're going to have a lot more awareness of the flow of the water, especially where the clothing was, and they can use that to learn. And by repeating that process over and over and over again, they're going to get more practice, they're going to get more exposure to different sensations on their body, and that variation, again, done in a specific context, is going to help them learn. Variation is helpful, repetition is helpful, and the more swimmers get of both, the faster they're going to improve. So here are two sets to illustrate these concepts. First set is going to be more of an aerobic freestyle set. They're going to go 2 rounds through. 425s freestyle with shorts and fins, descend 1 to 4 to fast. So we're giving them the chance to create some speed to really magnify the drag. Then they're going to take the gear off, move right into 2 100s freestyle, descend 1 to 2 at the same stroke rate. And because the stroke rate is capped, the only way they're going to go faster is by creating more propulsion or create less resistance. And creating less resistance is the focus here so they can be better off the turns, better streamline. And if they can reduce the resistance they create, they'll go further with each stroke, which will also allow them to go faster without picking up the rate. We'll repeat the 4 25s again and then go 3 100s, descend at the same stroke rate. Repeat the 25s again and then 4 75s, descend at the same stroke rate. The second round, they'll use a t-shirt, and so when they're wearing shorts, it's going to draw more attention to their hips and their legs. And when they're wearing a t-shirt, it's going to draw more attention to their upper body, their chest, their shoulders, and their torso. So we're using different types of clothing to create a slightly different effect. Second set, a little bit more of a speed set. They're going to go 4 rounds through. They're going to go 3 25s butterfly, t-shirt, and fins. They're going to go minimize stroke count, and they've got to take 6 kicks, no more, no less, to keep that standard. So they're trying to get long, they're trying to get fast, and they're doing that with both the t-shirt and the fins. Then they're going to 25 butterfly. They're going to add a stroke and see if they can go even faster. So whatever their stroke count was on those 3 25s, add a stroke, go faster. Then they're going to take the gear off, 25 butterfly, minimize stroke count and time, and then a 25 butterfly fast. So we're using those first 4 25s to prepare them for the second 2 25s, help them become more aware of what they're doing, and then hopefully they can just slide through the water on the last 2. As with the first set, we're going to use both t-shirt and shorts to change where the resistance is experienced. Odd rounds are a t-shirt, even rounds are shorts. So while helping swimmers learn to create resistance can be challenging, with this strategy, we can help them become more aware of the resistance they're creating, which can help them learn how to create less resistance. For more on how to use clothing to help swimmers improve their skills and their speed, check out the video below.